Morning guys, welcome back and thank you for tuning in. Today I am excited to bring this video because in this one I have good news for everybody. I'm sure you've heard about big changes to PPP and they definitely apply to a lot more people, and the ones who already qualified, well, there's more money coming. So stay tuned. If this is something you would like to learn more about and stay updated with something in the most easiest of the way and cut out the confusing jargon, please do like and subscribe, and let me get right to what we are here for. The big changes from PPP within the program that President Biden announced a few days ago, basically February 24th, starting February 24th. All that the lending companies can do is focus on small business, specifically the ones with less than 20 employees. So if you are one of those and have not heard back from your lenders yet, or are kind of frustrated, I am sure you'll be hearing quite soon, because by the White House orders, they really have to focus exclusively for the next 14 days, starting Wednesday all the way till March 9th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, only on small businesses and not so much on the others. So hopefully those pending files will move much quicker. That being said, let me tell you what the difference here is. Basically, a lot of people initially did not get a PPP. You were sole proprietors, single member LLCs, or S Corps, whatever you may be. But for some reason in 2019, because that was the number being used, you had a loss. Whether it was just a year you ended up having a loss, or you are in such business, especially the Uber, the Lyft drivers, or let's say your business is such that once you add some expenses like depreciation and some tax expenses, your net income was zero or loss. Now you were all out of PPP. You couldn't apply for it because the numbers would not work. It was based on the profit that you made. Now you can qualify. I mean, that's awesome news for some of my businesses who felt left out and cheated just because, let's say, for that 1 year, either they had a bad year, or just the way the tax system works, they felt like they got the short end of the stick. Especially some of the Uber drivers, because between the mileage that you deduct and some other expenses, sometimes you are kind of like a wash on your taxes. So now is the time to go back, look at your numbers, put it together, because now you will qualify. Let me tell you what we are looking at. I will, just like my other videos, if you'll see, I'll have numbers on the site so that you can see the difference, and I'll explain where it is coming from. I will be looking at my cheat sheet because I want to make sure the numbers I say are the numbers that will show up on the screen and we're not messing up. Okay, let's begin. Now we are assuming, initially what happened was the PPP was based on, I'm going to take Schedule C because that's the most simplest one or the most effective one for people. It will basically apply across the board whether you did a single member LLC or you were S Corp and you were using the net profit. But for simplistic reason, it's going to be a Schedule C discussion right now. So let's say earlier in the game, you looked at your Schedule C and you had profit of $55,000. That was your line 55, and that's what the number was you used. On the other hand, if you were to look at your gross, PPP was based on profit, not on gross. Now that's where it comes in. It's based on gross. Your gross, as you can see in my calculation here, we are assuming, our assumptions are that your gross was, let's say, $105,000. The reason I'm using 105 is also to remind, no matter what, when it comes to a Schedule C, you will be limited to 20,000. This is for the regular even year calculation. So it is 89,000. Then your max is 89. You're 105. Your max is 100,000 because there's a cutoff of $100,000. So your gross is 105, and in this case, we're assuming the profit out of that gross was $55,000. If you were to use the calculation that were originally applied for both PPP Part 1 and the PPP Part 2, you basically took the 55 divided by 12. We're looking at a number of 4583 as your monthly average. which when multiplied by 2.5 gave you a loan amount of 11,457, which, okay, was a decent amount. But here's the kicker. If you now go back and look at your same numbers, the calculation is now not based on the line 31, but on line 1, your gross amount. So again, on the screen, we've got $100,000 because that's the max you can take anyways at the end of the day. So you take your $100,000 divided by 12, gives us a monthly of 8,333. Now multiply that by 2.5 and you get 20,833. There is certainly a good amount of difference. As you can see, for us, a simple calculation brought us at a number more of $9,376 that we can claim. Now remember, that's for one loan. You're going to do this twice. So this is just under $20,000 based on the new calculation, which is huge considering there are a lot of people out there who are in need. Now here's the kicker. Imagine you are one of those people who made, let's say not the 6 figures, but in my calculation, you can go back to the screen and see that you, on your net profit, you were 0, or for whatever situation, you ended up being at a loss. But your gross, you had income. So let's be conservative. Go back to some of my videos and see, and I'll put it again, at least the first one, where let's say you were not the 100,000 gross, you were the 55,000 gross, but once you took out your regular expenses, you added depreciation as those expense, so your net came out either to 0 or negative. But now you are in the game. You can go back to your bank and apply based on the gross, where, keep in mind, earlier you didn't qualify at all. And now legally, based on the gross calculation, again, using this number, except we are assuming this was your gross and not the net, now you get $11,457. I'll repeat again, this is one time. You're going to do this twice. So you're looking at just about $23,000, $24,000 in the PPP, and most of it, assuming it is all kind of utilized the right way, is all forgiven, non-taxable. So this is a huge news for everybody out there who initially, let's say either they didn't think they got enough, or the ones who felt left out of the system just because they had a shitty bad year, or just got dealt a bad hand. So please definitely go back and look at those numbers. That being said, let me tell you, this is too new. And if history has taught us anything in the last 24 months, banks do not come to the game right away. So your bank may come back and say, we are aware of it, but we are still not ready. I'm not sure how that's going to work or come into play. The fact that the next 14 days they have to focus on this. I'm assuming if your bank is one that actually got on the A game, they may already be ready. I'm assuming most of them are right there. They may be taking pre-application. So as soon as the system is up and running, because a few guidelines are still missing. So for the people who actually got the PPP loan 1 and 2, but now have to go back to apply for the difference, now that has to be clarified as well, and these banks need to get away. I mean, I'm excited for my clients. I'm excited for you out there, but let me tell you, I am dreading being that bank people who have to go back, look at these millions of applications, do the calculation differential, and give you the money. But hey, make sure you get the well-deserved money. Again, let me point out a few things. Like I said, look at your bank. If you are one of those people who've been kind of stuck, haven't heard from your bank for a while, hopefully that should be a quick turnaround, just because of what the White House came out and made sure the banks are focusing on. Also, right now, there is no clarity whether or not there will be an extension on the PPP, because it does sunset. As of right now, they're assuming, not assuming, as of right now, the date is March 31st. So between these new things or the new laws, because all of a sudden, there's a lot more people, the pool of people who can now qualify who were not in the game before. So I'm not sure. It looks like realistically or reasonably there should be some extension, but as of right now, there is no news. I am keeping an eye on that news. So if there is anything, and if you're subscribed to the channel, this is a plug, as you can tell, you would hear the news. So please do like and subscribe so that you know if that does come around. Other than that, of course, the other big news is earlier, if you had some criminal record, there was, certain categories, you couldn't apply. And well, that's not there anymore. So if earlier you couldn't apply because there was some felony record or things like that in your past, and that was a hindrance, that's not the case anywhere either. So make sure you kind of go back and reapply, because now you would qualify. I hope you all got the news. I hope you understood what this means for each and every one of you. If there are any questions or concerns, please do write in the comment section. I'm more than happy. It's a tax season, but I try to keep myself, check the channel and make sure if there are any questions from anybody that I do answer them, and kind of if there's any confusion, take it out. So please feel free to comment or put any of your questions, and I'll make sure that they are answered. Also, I do like, if you're aware, to end my videos on a positive quote, but since we are in tax season, I have decided I'm going to go over some funny tax memes. I am a big meme person. So here we go. I was looking over something funny to find, and I came through a definition. It's called intoxication. Here is how you define that. A nice feeling you get when you receive a tax refund until you realize it was your money at the first place. And isn't that the truth? With that, you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon, and stay happy.